Hey y'all, my name is Bryant Young.
Hey, and Derek Chaney.
Here with the Decent Dads Podcast. Brand new episode.
That's right. Had another one of our good friends on, Aaron Hall, single dad.
Yeah, and it was interesting. We kind of talked about his journey into daddom and how he's navigating being a single parent. And he had some really good tidbits that just brought some perspective to us, because that was something we talked about quite a bit in this episode, was perspective.
Oh, yeah.
And opened our eyes to some things about, he gets half the time that his child will be a child with his child, which is fascinating.
Or just some of the challenges that he has that, again, you or I have never thought of until he brought him up here. And it's like, that would be an issue, right?
That would suck. Sure.
But he's killing it as a single dad, man. I just loved hearing how he talked about his daughter, the experiences that they're having, what he's doing. I mean, props to him, man. Yeah,
they're doing life together, man. It sounds like they're doing a great job. So I think you guys are going to enjoy this one. I think folks will get some good perspective from it, and also get some pretty decent dad hacks this time around. So I was pretty proud of us for that.
3 solid ones.
Yeah, pretty good.
Sure.
So I think we jump right into this thing.
Let's do it.
All right, Decent Dads Podcast. Here we go. Welcome back to the Decent Dads Podcast. We're here to tell dad jokes, drink coffee, and build a community of dads navigating fatherhood together. I am Bryant Young, fearless leader, co-host, girl dad, and your friendly local insurance agent based out of Springfield, Missouri. And now, before we get started on today's episode, please help me welcome the coolest co-host with the most, a fantastic father of 3, and the home loan expert. Folks, put your hands together and welcome the incomparable Mr. Derek Chaney. How are you, Derek?
Oh, doing swell, doing dandy. Great intro, by the way.
Definitely not laughing from my flub from the last episode, and also then almost choking myself.
I know. I wanted to make a together joke, but
call back.
But I kept it in. Anyways, doing fantastic. It's Thursday night football. Mm-hmm. It's we have a fantastic guest on here today.
Excited for Aaron to be here.
Aaron Hall, and we also have some hoppy coffee.
We do.
Who can we thank for that?
Yeah, these coffees are brought to you by our friends at Buff Studio, the official coffee sponsor of the Decent Dads Podcast. Buff Studio is a full-service architecture, engineering, and design firm with offices in Bentonville, Arkansas, and Springfield, Missouri. Learn more at buffstudio.co. Thanks, Buff Studio, for your support of the podcast and Decent Dads everywhere. Buff Studio, be a buffalo. Cheers.
Cheers. All right. Well, like I mentioned there
before
I spilled Bryant's coffee on him, we have a great guest today, man.
I'm glad Aaron's here, man. This is gonna be fun.
I think we talked about it quite a while ago about having you on the podcast, but Aaron, I've known you for quite a while, and I think Bryant has as well too. And I had this realization. I feel like we've had this common connection with a ton of our guests as far as we met in Rotaract.
Correct.
Probably 6-7 years ago. Yeah. So I think that's just a testament to how great that group is. But anyways, I was thinking about that as well too, and I was like, man, it's funny how our conversations have changed over the years. I think back in the day, we talked about, work a little bit, sports probably quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And now, we just talked a couple of days ago on the phone, and it was work for 1 minute. And then it was like, how's the kids? How's dad life? And that just took over our conversation. So love talking about that stuff.
Like sands through the hourglass. Right. These are the days of our lives.
But needless to say, we know Aaron pretty well.
Yeah.
But some people might not. So Aaron, if you will, tell us, who you are, what you do, give us your dad resume, tell us how many kids you got, what are their ages, and which one's your favorite.
Yeah. So I'm Aaron Hall, and I work in finance at the finance place. And
great name.
I have
thank you, compliance department.
Compliance department. I have one daughter, Grace, who's a first grader.
Yeah,
and she has 2 households. Mm-hmm. So we went through a divorce a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. So Grace and I have been figuring it out ever since.
Yeah,
and we're still managing.
Good.
Somehow. So
well, that's the important part, right? And he gets the infamous answer of which one's your favorite. Well, it's my daughter because she's the only
pretty
one.
easy choice.
Yeah,
easily.
Exactly. Makes life easy.
Easy.
Well, so Grace is 6. do you still get tantrums at 6, or have they shifted into like you're too young to be, but you're almost giving me preteen energy, like that kind of stuff?
Yeah,
like what kind of tantrums are you dealing with right now?
And you have to pick your battles, because it's like, okay, what is a battle of wills, or is this like actually like just a very small thing that I'm helping her work through? Mm-hmm. So we're figuring out tying shoes right now.
Oh gosh,
and
I haven't even thought about that.
An extra layer to that is I'm left-handed and she's right-handed, so I'm trying to teach her backwards. How to do it, essentially. And I did it, I don't know how you guys tie shoes, but like the bunny method, where you like have the bunny ears around the whole, so that like wasn't jiving with her, so I pulled a Big Daddy. Loop and swoop.
Loop, swoop, and pull.
Loop, swoop, and pull.
I love it. Good for you.
She reacted. That was better.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what the meltdown was, and it was both of us, she's like, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, I don't know how to explain this any differently to you. And I was even guiding her, like, okay, here, like I was pushing the shoestring through the hole, like, just pull it. Like, that's all you have to do. Like, just, I'm going to talk you through it right now. And she just, like, threw it everywhere. And then she went to one room and I went to the other room, and she was tardy for school. And so.
Well, at least you guys know to separate yourselves from each other in that situation a little bit, too. That's probably a good thing.
We do. Yeah. And I finally came to her and just picked her up and held her and just like, we're going to figure it out. But she's really independent too. So she's like, no, I want to figure it out. It's like, well, we don't have time for that right now. So
then we will work on that tonight.
Late night shoe tying. So, and this week on Monday, she was very proud of herself, and she's like 90% right. Because we're still doing like the backwards. Like she's not quite doing the loop and swoop. Like she has her hands like this instead of like this. So she's going around her little finger instead of this one. So it's like, but it works. It holds together. Both days I picked her up, they did stay tied. So it's like, it's the small victories.
Well, I mean, you teach her that one extra half hitch, and it's a double knot, and then it doesn't go anywhere ever.
Oh, see, and we can even do the double knots. It was like right in the middle, like the execution of the second bunny ear.
Good for her.
So, you got me wondering if I'm tying my shoes correctly now.
I went down the rabbit hole with Liv on this, because Liv and I tie our shoes differently, because bunny rabbit ears, loop, swoop, and pull. And so everybody does it differently. And so when we start teaching Elsie, Liv and I are actually going to have the conversation, okay, how are we going to do this? Not how do you do it, how do I do it? And my struggle was tying, much like you see girls that can't do hair on somebody else, they have to like reach back and do it behind themselves because they're only used to doing their own hair. Same thought process with shoes, right? We're like, I'm only used to tying them from what is essentially behind. And so I have caught myself having to like tie Elsie's shoes. I'm like, no, you got to turn around. I got to reach around your legs here, and I'll tie it this way.
We both sit down with our backs to the wall, because I'm the same way. I'm like, I can't tie it that way. I got to like be staring at it. So
you don't even tie shoes. They're either slip-ons or Velcro.
Yeah, well, Elsie has one pair of Chuck tees. She wears the Chuck Taylors, and that's it.
And we have a lot of Velcro. And that's kind of like mom's shoes are more zipper and Velcro. But like I'm making a stand, like it's principle at this point. It's
we're going to learn how to tie these shoes. Damn it.
Such a dad move too. I love it.
You got to do this. So
good for you. I love it. That's solid.
Awesome,
what about you, DC? What kind of tantrums are you dealing with?
Oh man, mine was kind of, I don't know, I guess kind of sad in a way, but so Liam, back like whenever he was having his leg issues and he had to go see the doctor, they always take your blood pressure, right? And for whatever reason, it wasn't like getting his blood pressure, and so I don't know like if the cuff that goes around your arm, if it was like malfunctioning, or if it was just because it couldn't get his blood pressure, it kept like getting tighter and tighter. Anyways, freaked him out. Okay, so that was tough. What, 6-8 months ago, 9 months ago, however long ago that was. And so now every time we go to the doctor, he is terrified of the squeezy thing.
They're going to do the squeezy thing.
That's so much.
That's scary.
And so he had his checkup last week, him and Brody both at the same time. And they tried to put that thing on him, and he lost his shit. I mean, like, I wasn't there, but Allie was telling me, she's like, I couldn't even like physically restrain him because he was just losing it so bad.
That's tough.
And luckily, I got there kind of like right as he was calming down, and it was all good then. But in the nurse and the doctor, they were coming in and out of the room just doing their regular thing, and every time one of them would come in, it's like, are you going to do the squeezy thing now? Are you going to do the squeezy thing? Just like tears rolling down his face, and it's like, oh my god,
big old crocodile tears.
Poor dude. But then kind of a proud moment, little brother, Brody, again, he's there doing his thing too. Well, it comes to his turn to do it. Well, shoot, he just sits up there on the table. They do run through the whole gambit with him, do his blood pressure thing, check temperature, eyes, ears, heart, all that stuff. And he's just sitting there, and he's our crazy one that's like bouncing off the wall. Didn't move an inch.
Good for him.
No
fear.
So that was good. Liam, kind of had to freak out to where, they didn't even do the blood pressure, and they probably won't ever moving forward. So,
well, yeah, that's hard. I mean, how many friends do we have, Connor O'Mealy, who are scared of needles and they're in their 30s?
Oh, yeah.
Like that kind of thing, just sometimes that's a thing. That's all right.
Well, I don't watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't watch.
No.
Not a big giver of blood, huh? Not going to put
Not my own. I'll give other people. That's fine.
Sacrificial.
But that was my thing. I was like, most kids are like, are you going to give me shots? And Liam's, nope. Are you going to give me the squeezy
Blood
thing?
pressure.
I'm like,
blood pressure.
gosh, that thing really did scar you,
Please
didn't it?
no.
So yeah, but what about you?
Well, I've talked about this probably every week for the last however many episodes this is, 69 of them. Nice. But Liv is the preferred parent in our household. I don't know if I've told you about this or not. But
I was going to say favorite parent, but
whatever. Liv is definitely the preferred parent, and so anytime Elsie can't be around Liv, it's a problem. Well, Liv has been sick over the last couple of days. She's been okay. She's been able to work and stuff, but like basically when work's done, she just has gone to bed and just like crashed out, just needed to rest, needed to drink some water and recover basically. And Elsie was not having it.
Oh,
like I was basically running like deflection for and like I was running protection for my wife basically. Like I was trying to create every diversion I could in the house. Right. I was turning on the TV way more. I was like, hey, let's go throw rocks at the window. Anything we can do to like, I'm joking, but like
you're not coming over to my house anymore.
Yeah, literally anything I could do to get her distracted, because twice she sat at the door with both hands and just pounded on the door. Mommy! Oh, gosh. I want mommy! I'm like, come on, man, I'm not that bad. Right. It's not that bad to hang out with me. Like, I really like hanging out with you. Why don't you like me?
Oh, poor girl.
So, but yeah. And then Liv is better today, and Elsie is happy as a clam.
Oh, well, thank goodness. For your sake.
Good Lord. It's ridiculous at this point. But yeah, so, what are we going to do? It's been fun the last couple of nights trying to teach a kid. Also, don't go to Chili's by the mall. I thought Elsie would like Chili's, so I took her. Took an hour and a half.
Oh, good to know.
And, dude, it
time?
was 5:36, and it really wasn't that jammed.
Okay.
And it also cost me and a kid drinking 2 waters and 2 like little entrees $45.
Dang.
It's like, whoa.
Okay.
My boys keep asking me to go there if I can take them there.
Take them during whatever
like,
appetizer happy hour they have. Because maybe not.
Yeah.
God, take that, Chili's.
Oh no, I hear that.
No free ads.
Yeah, I hear that. They switch favorite parents eventually. So maybe you'll
not
have
in this house.
eventually.
Might have to have another kid for that to happen.
Well, Aaron, the next thing we always ask everybody is, give us a good dad hack.
Dad hack alert!
That you utilize, or maybe some good dad advice that somebody gave you or you've given other dads.
Yeah, so that's a good transition from the tantrum story. So my dad advice would be obvious: just love them. First of all, that's kind of important for being a dad, but then find a way to communicate it. Because sometimes we suck, and you just have to have like that level that you reach at. So like after we were figuring out how to tie her shoes, just like, it's okay. Like we're going to figure it out. Like I picked her up, and our love languages are similar. Like we're both kind of touch. So like I'll just pick her up and just hold her like it's okay. And like that diffuses 75% of situations.
Nice.
Plus I think you have to meet them where they're at age-wise. Like acts of service isn't going to mean a lot to a 3-year-old.
Right.
Like,
that's a very good point.
Gifts, work. Grandmas know that everywhere.
Yeah, that's a point of diminishing return there,
but yeah, just picking them up, dusting them off. I really, most of the better dads like in my life who I think of, it wasn't even verbal, really. a lot. I can't think of the last time like I have a grandfather where he told me he loved me.
Sure.
But I've never like questioned it for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Just because just everything else he's doing.
Yeah.
I
love that.
That's my dad advice.
Well said. Find a way to communicate it, though. That's good.
Well,
I like that.
And figure out their love language. That was kind of an epiphany for me. What you just said there, I was like, I've never thought of it that way with a little kid, right? I've thought about it with my wife. But yeah, it's so funny. Like you think about your kids' love languages and you're like, oh yeah, that is what communicates the best with them, right?
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
man.
Words don't work sometimes.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah,
well, and so mine is actually kind of the polar opposite of that, at least a little bit, talking about words, the importance of them. Talking to Elsie, I heard something flash by on social media the other day, and Elsie really likes little mnemonic devices, little like things to help her remember things. Maybe it's a little sing-song thing, maybe it's a little something else. And the guy said, well, I'll tell you what I tell my kids. It's okay to feel how you feel, but how you act is a different deal.
Right.
So it's okay to feel big emotions. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be sad or mad or happy or whatever. That's great.
Right.
That's okay. It's
Right.
okay to feel how you feel. But how you act is a different deal. So
like
how
that too.
you, and as we're learning how to be, I mean, she's 3. I'm not raising a college kid at this point, but like trying to make her a productive little kid, help her understand that it's okay to be upset. It's okay to be mad. But we don't throw things when we're mad.
Right.
We don't hit things when we're mad. We don't, slam doors. We don't there are just some things that we don't do. So you can feel however you want to feel, kiddo, but how you act is a different deal. And that just really stuck for me. And so I've been like quietly just saying, well, Elsa, it's okay to feel how you feel, but how you act is a different deal. And so we're going to roll that back and feel however you want. But we're not going to act however you want.
Yeah.
Coping 101.
Yeah, right? 100%.
Right.
I like that. Man, you guys are spewing some good stuff here.
Take that, son.
Yeah, I feel like I've already learned so much. We're only 10 minutes in here. Well, mine's not near as deep as either one of your guys's, but I did get it from another dad, another friend of ours. I saw he actually posted it on Facebook the other day, Adam McGrath, and he said whenever, especially with like little kids like we all have here, whenever they give you a hug, run up to you whenever you get home from work or whatever, just whenever they're hugging you, let them let go first. You don't let go first. And dude, talk about a dopamine dump.
Yeah.
Like that feels so good because I tried it or have been trying it with my boys, and it's like Liam, like he'll hang on for like 5 or 7 seconds, and you're like, oh, that's nice, Brody's like a good 30 seconds, man. He's like not letting go, and I'm like, dude, this feels so good.
That's awesome. That's great.
Right. And then they get heavier.
Yeah, right. They get heavier.
And then all of a sudden they're 6, and it's like, oh my God,
then they're 60 pounds, and then your back hurts.
Yeah.
But I thought that was solid.
That's
man.
good. Yeah, I like
that.
So that's the Disney character rule. Did you know that?
Oh no.
So the actors at Disney, when it's like Winnie the Pooh or it's a princess or something, obviously all these little kids are gonna want to run up and give hugs.
Yeah.
The part of the coaching for those Disney princesses or for those characters are that if a little kid runs up to give you a hug, you don't let go until they do.
Yeah.
Wow.
The idea being we don't want the kid to feel like, oh, well, they didn't want to be around me, or to ruin their experience.
Right.
So similar thought process.
I didn't know
That's
that.
some coaching that the Disney people do. But I thought that was super
Be
interesting.
scarred for life because Belle let go to her.
Exactly, right? Like, exactly. That's
Damn
exactly
it, Belle.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, pretty solid. Well, so we started to talk a little bit about it, but if you wouldn't mind, we kind of hinted at this a little bit, talked about it in the break or at the beginning of this. Tell us your journey to becoming a dad, and then if you want, share as much as you want to, and feel free to say, I don't really want to talk about it, about like your journey to becoming a single dad and like kind of what that looks like for you now. Like just kind of tell us your journey a little bit.
So the Reader's Digest version, I mean, for me as a dad is, I use the word perspective a lot. Just from multiple things, but my dad journey all began with us finding out that we were having Grace, I guess, like everybody else. So I got married young when I was 22. So I became a dad young when I was a week away from being 24.
Boy.
which led to being
Okay, I didn't realize you were that young. Yeah.
Yeah. So, which makes you have to grow up young.
Sure.
So for us, I mean, my parents are still married, 36, 37 years. I'm older than me and my siblings are. So for us, that's like the model in my life. It's just kind of looking at like what was laid out there. So in my mind, my parents were 30 when I was born. Like I was just, okay, I'm going to get my feet under me and get my career and then we'll figure it out along the way. I was thinking 4 or 5 years. That's not what happened.
Sure.
So from
you
that,
know what caused that, right?
yeah, yep.
Yep. Well, I was there for it.
I was batting 1,000.
Yeah, batting 1,000. Please continue. Sorry, did not mean to derail the conversation.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. So I've been figuring. So we've been figuring it out ever since.
Sure.
Because there's how you think your life's going to go, and then there's how it actually goes.
Yep. Totally get it.
So, I'll have some side tangents along the way, but finding out we're going to have a child. Everybody's happy, and like I'm happy too. But like in the back of my mind, I'm like, man,
oh shit, yeah.
This is not according to plan.
Like I don't know.
It didn't, or it wouldn't have changed if you would have waited till 30 either.
Okay, good.
Yeah, to be clear, we also don't know what we're
those
doing.
shit moments too.
Well, because that's the thing. It's not that you don't want to be a dad,
right?
It's like the weight of that situation is a little different because like you immediately have clarity on what that's all going to entail.
Yeah, no joke.
Post, nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice.
So for us, we do all the appointments. At that point in time, so when you're in finance in your 20s, the pay's not all that great. So she was on her dad's insurance at the time because he had union insurance. We're like, yeah, that'll work. And then we talked to the financial people at the hospital. Yeah, you guys are checked. Don't worry about it. So everything's going fine. I'm going to give a very brief female anatomy lesson.
Yeah, please. We need some help.
So when we were doing our different...
Such an expert.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of
no,
things.
just keep going. Just keep going.
So I've seen a lot of charts. So how it's supposed to be is like you have the water that breaks.
Yes, generally speaking.
And so it's like a balloon. It's like a water balloon in there with a baby inside. So if the cervix starts to open, John, can we say cervix?
Yeah, I think cervix is okay.
If it puts too much pressure on it, it can pop like a balloon.
Sure.
And like that's how babies are born early. A lot of the time it's too early. So they caught it early, thank goodness, but then they like rushed her off, like just disappeared.
So her water broke early then?
No, because I mean before they were able to see it was moving down after even 2 or 3 days. It was the day after Christmas in 2017. So then it's like, okay, well, like what now? I mean, this wasn't on my bingo card at all. What is this?
Sure.
What's a cervix?
Preach.
So we're talking, and then like we go to the waiting room, and essentially what they did is it's like a drawstring purse where they loop the thread all the way through it. That's what they do. I mean, the doctor goes in there, so with a needle and thread, and that's what it is. It's a cervical cerclage. So, and I'm a numbers guy, so I asked like, so what are we looking at here? Like, I honestly asked her, like, about 50%. Like, if the baby's born, that's it. I mean, this is. So me and her dad are like both just like staring at the wall, just like
that's
the
scary,
weight of that situation.
Right? Sure.
So 2 hours later, and shout out Dr. Dix. I think she's still at Cox Health, and she's in her 80s.
Oh wow!
But she got in there and got everything stitched up. We were in PCU for 5 or 6 days. And honestly, but you have some perspective because there's other people who have it worse than you do while you're in there.
Yep,
so
that's fair.
I'm, sleeping on the couch and it's like 2 degrees outside, which it is significantly colder next to the window than it is anywhere else. But those are the silent
Yeah, those little silent
you don't
struggles
get
you
to
got
share.
there. You go.
Yeah, because there's other things going on. So, we go home, and then we spent the next, that was at 24, 25 weeks. 14, 15 weeks trying to keep her in.
Sure.
And she's on bed rest. We go down to one income. I find out that the insurance covers like OBGYN and, her expenses, my ex-wife's expenses, but not baby expenses.
Oh,
Hi,
gosh.
yeah.
So from there, which I needed an insurance expert at the time, and which I've since
I'll
got
introduce
my
you to
license
somebody
too.
else. Yeah.
So yeah, right. So and part of it too is like there's you can't get certain information if you're not on the policy, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to get information, but
Learn
learn the hard way. So we're going once a week. Still can't. It's not cardiogram, whatever. It's where they take pictures of the baby in the womb.
Yep.
So we're going once a week. I mean, that bill goes to $50,000. I mean, balloons up. So I'd give you a detailed breakdown of what all that costs.
Sure.
So a lot of stress, one income, we're doing that. And then in the end, the irony of it all is like they had to induce her. We scheduled all that. We're trying to get her out at 40 weeks after that.
That's crazy.
So
that's how it works.
Right. It was a little too good of a job.
That's crazy.
So I mean, the weeks go by, you're learning like, okay, baby, and they're giving him steroids to boost their lungs and their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And girls develop faster than boys do. Mm-hmm. So you're better off if you have a girl in that situation. So each week you're like, okay, like if this happens, that means this. So that wears on a person.
You're just checking off milestones at that point.
After a while, like, right. And, me, again, like the financial side of it, like I'm like, oh, like this is not good.
Sure.
Like it to the point where it's just like, you figure a lot of things out, I guess is what I would say. So anyway, she's born. It's a C-section. Did you guys C-section?
Unfortunately, mine was an emergency C-section. But yes.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So it's a blur.
Yeah.
While it's happening.
Yeah.
In the words of Rick James, whatever they're on is a hell of a drug.
Yeah. No joke.
Because they're opening them up and like shaking, like it's
scary.
It is scary.
Shit's real,
and then
dude.
they shove the baby in your hands and you go to another room and they're like busy in there. So like the first 20 minutes, Grace is like hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I have useless nipples.
Yep. As we
So
said.
you're just sitting there like, this isn't going to be good for you or I if I do that.
This is bad for both of us.
This is bad for both of us.
Mouthful of hair.
We bonded at that point.
Yeah, which is great.
So like, the first, because it took mom hours
Sure.
to come down.
Yeah.
So it's us and just trying to figure out how to take care of this baby ever since that point.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get home and then the home loan expert that winter,
Hey.
I know him.
we were
Anybody
able
looking
to get.
buy, build, or refi?
That's right. I've done all of those. I'm like recurring. Is it 3 mortgages in like 5 years? I'm recurring revenue at this point.
Those are pretty good numbers.
Yeah. So,
Top client.
yeah. Me and my bad life decisions are good for Derek. So we end up getting a house like somehow.
Sure. Good lender.
That's right. He worked it out. So, live in Rogersville, liked Rogersville. Have some difficult things beforehand. And then I was working on degrees, which helps when you're in your 20s in finance because you have to stand apart somehow. I went down to college at the Ozarks. So, like, I'm not from town. That's why I joined Rotaract, actually, was just to get to know people and have a network. So,
Hard work you, baby.
That's right. So, where we like coffee at Hard Work U. So
I don't believe you.
yeah,
Keep going.
lots of coffee because you're working so hard. So I forget where I was going.
No. So you get the house, get everything put together
so
there.
get the house, get everything. So right. So I'm working on this 18-month program. I owe my current employer $10,000.
Sure.
Getting some pressure to like bail on that, jump ship on that. I'm like, that's not an option.
Yeah.
So
we can't write a check for $10,000. So
change your career, do like whatever you have to do. So I was at like a 4-day kind of boot camp kind of thing to prepare to take this, and then I get home and it was very sudden, just kind of like I'm out, like this is it. So, I guess the joke behind that would be the instructor at the time was like, oh, you should go home and like watch The Pursuit of Happiness, like get a thing that you do before you take every thing you're going to be doing. And so that's what I did, and I took that shit literally. So, apparently.
Yeah.
So I get home, and it's like that. Like that was which I called every night just to check in while I was up in Kansas City. But like the third night, like I knew like something's up. Something's off.
Yeah.
And your gut knows really before your brain does. At least if you're a dude. So I get home, and it's just like, so you can like take this, but then like that's it. Like you got to go find other arrangements somewhere. So shout out to everybody whose couch I got to stay on after that. Pass it. Opportunities did open up,
nice.
Which is what, basically why I laid it all on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been great ever since I did all that. But all of a sudden it's Grace and I, and that was in 2021, and it's been her and I ever since. And just it's because I'm 30, so I'm still figuring out too. Like we're kind of growing together in that way.
Sure,
She's
learning how to be a kid. You're learning how to be an adult.
That's right,
it, man.
Thank God for Nana, my mom, who comes and like kind of freshens the decor and things. So it's not like it's not a dude house like a bachelor pad that we're living in.
That's true with a little girl. Yeah.
Yeah. I get that.
So she decorates in there, and like I like clean, but then she like
makes it pretty.
Yeah, makes it better. So that's clothes. Clothes are important. So, which is maybe a segue into like the fails.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% confident what I'm sending her to school in, like every day. Like,
sure.
So Nana lays things out. She matches things up. Like I said, like I'm very dependent on that, and I try to reciprocate that.
So she lays your daughter's clothes out, then she goes into
matches
your room and then lays them out.
Then
for
lays
you
mine
too,
out, and yeah.
I was gonna say let them pick, and then you don't even take the blame for it.
So I'm like
mismatch. That's what I do.
Taking mental notes and hair, which thank God Grace has curly hair. So that helps.
Okay.
That helps a lot because it's just like just kind of frizz it up a little bit and stick a bow in it, and you're good.
Dude, that's been my big struggle is figuring out girl hair. I don't got nothing.
Solely being in charge of hair every day is a thing.
Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing.
I got 2 or 3 go-tos.
Yeah,
I got some moves, and that's
You're
so
learning.
So the fails are just kind of like I mean. It is what it is. Like you just gotta own it. Like when you send your kid off to school, like okay, here you go. Like go make friends.
Yeah, right.
Have fun.
Doing the best I can.
Right.
Doing the best I can.
It's probably obvious, but but sometimes like I don't know. I got a compliment one time because like everything was on point, like the hoodie and the boots and the.
There you go.
And that was me.
Good for you, bro.
That's right.
That's good. That.
That's right.
It's little things. Little things.
Nice.
Well, yeah, man. I know. Like, shoot, parenting with 2 parents is freaking hard enough.
Yeah.
Can imagine like single parenting. I mean that
consistency's difficult.
Props to all the single parents.
Consistency's good.
I mean that's me and Allie talk about it all the time. Like that's got to be so hard. But then you being obviously a dude, and then you single parenting a girl, and there's got to be a lot of challenges there. Right? Raising a little girl. Yeah. So, I mean, I know you kind of hinted at it earlier, I think before we hopped on air here, but bathrooms.
Yes.
Or public bathrooms are
like my stress is never higher than when I'm in the airport or Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Or Buc-ee's. I love that we're mixing Buc-ee's into that too.
Buc-ee's is hell, dude. Like with the bathroom, because you're just like, hold my hand. Like,
right.
So yeah, I mean, it's because you're just kind of like, okay, go in there and like, hopefully you meet a nice lady if you need help, but you're just kind of releasing them into the wild, and then you're waiting at the outside.
Oh yeah.
So like third-person bathrooms, I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
Family bathrooms.
Family bathrooms are the winner, dude. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Family bathrooms. Just nope. We're going straight to that one. We will wait.
We will wait.
Can wait. We will.
Yeah. We will wait if it's all possible.
That makes a big difference. And
for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
So tell me about the hair fixing thing, because now this is just selfishly I'm trying to make sure I understand what I'm doing.
Okay.
Did you like watch videos? Did you ask your mom to just do it and you watched?
So her mom,
what are some of your
her
strategies?
mom gave me some ideas.
Okay.
Some are more intricate than others, so I had to do me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I can do that one. Some of it's my mom, but like women also have very different styles.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah. Especially women in their 50s and 60s as opposed to women in their 20s.
They do.
Single digits.
Nana's on point.
Yeah.
She is. She was a teacher.
Okay. So she knows she knows the deal.
She does. She said she has a vast array of things. So yeah, just wherever I can pick it up. Just learning like, okay, so like we'll do this, or it's a 10 hairspray. Shout out to them. Very important. Because like with curls, it
holds everything in.
It does.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've watched several like YouTube videos just to like try. Okay.
Oh yeah.
What the hell am I doing with this ponytail, and why is it not flat? Why is it not laid flat to the kiddo's head? I've seen her skull; it's relatively round. Why are there so many bumps in the hair?
Yep.
And I've watched.
I need
YouTube
a mirror
videos
because I gotta
to do
like
it.
figure out where to put the bow.
Sure.
Has she asked to use your hair stuff yet? Either one of you guys?
No, not
No?
really.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
Blow dryer. She wants the blow dryer constantly.
Oh, yeah.
But that's it.
I think that'd be funny. The boys ask me all the time.
Oh yeah.
If they can use my stuff.
Yeah, we have very different hair.
Yeah, well, that
Which I love.
I can tell.
That's like where she gets all of her compliments. It's like
Really?
the conversation starter is like
pretty
her
curly
curls.
hair.
Yeah,
I love it. That's
pretty
great.
curly.
So I'm trying to think. So you kind of talked about something earlier about like moments of pride with your kid, or for you as a parent. Like you mentioned, having the outfit on point, right? Or like like getting those little dopamine pumps, or it's probably not dopamine. It's those little like those little energy bumps.
Maybe
I did it.
Maybe I am a decent dad.
Yeah, maybe
all.
I am decent.
Besides being invited on the podcast, thank you
yeah.
very much. I'm glad to join that fraternity.
You're there, pal.
Fraternity.
You're there.
That's
You
the
made
word
it.
for it. You need T-shirts, by the way.
We got refrigerator magnets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We
Okay.
got you one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once we get a little bigger, T-shirts.
Sounds good. Get another sponsor. Talking to you, whoever's listening. So, so moments of pride. Them interacting with other people when you're just kind of watching from afar, and then they're able to like actually
That is really cool to see.
handle a
Literally took that
situation
out of
by
my mouth.
themselves.
Yep, that's what I was going to say.
All the teachers know her when we're in the drop-off line, just kind of like, hey, Grace, and she jives with her art teacher because
Cool.
that's more like we're doing voice lessons and piano lessons.
Sweet.
That's her lane,
Mm-hmm.
which is good because like traveling for kids is like a whole other like thing. I don't know how to approach that as a single parent.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big one. Which I didn't know if I was going to share this one. We were talking offline, but I got an email I wasn't expecting. From the counselor on them testing her for seeing if she was going to be able to make the gifted thing, which may not as of this tape.
It's like the gifted program in school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, but she's in the running.
Yeah.
So
Which
that
is a
was
cool thing, man. That's awesome. Be excited. That's great.
In or out, either way. It's like, because consistency.
Yep.
I mean, that was a big moment for her, for me and her mom, just to share, just like, no, okay, like she's making it.
Yeah.
Like she's doing okay.
Yeah.
So
That's a big deal, man. I think that's awesome. I mean, it shows that you guys aren't total fuck-ups. I'm just kidding. But no. I mean, it's awesome. You guys are doing the right things.
Depends on the moment.
And she's, I resemble that
100%
remark.
it does.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's awesome. And I think there's some importance in sometimes parenting sucks.
Right.
sometimes.
Right?
Yep.
And sometimes parenting is awesome.
Yep.
But also, it is so cool to find the little things that are exciting.
Yep.
Like, when you wrote moments of pride in your notes, I was thinking to myself, okay, so what are some of mine?
Right.
All of mine are how she interacts with other kids and other adults. Like, I've been working
How
on
she persons.
Yeah, how she persons, literally.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
The fact that she will say thank you to people, or I jokingly taught her to shake hands and say nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And so she will sometimes go
that.
nice to meet you.
Right.
And it makes me really happy.
Yep.
And
Me
to
too.
see her interact like with her little buddies at school. Like she has had one best little pal that was in her daycare class from when they were 4 months old until they were close to 2. And then she went to a different school, and Liv and I were completely distraught. We're like, oh shit.
Yep.
Like, she lost her little buddy.
Right.
And now what are we
Right.
going to do?
Yeah.
And of course, she loves that little girl, but also, like, she has other friends in her class. And she gets into class, and you just see her dig in and start playing with the Legos or start playing with the balls in the corner over there or whatever. And it's just, she gets right in there. And it's so exciting for me to see her just being a little kid.
And another layer is your frame of reference. So, like, I grew up in Plato, Missouri. So I graduated with 50 people.
Right.
So you know everybody, like, year to year.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you're not having to, like, step outside your comfort zone versus, which I went to Lebanon too when I was her age. So, like, I know what that is, but it's a whole new cast of characters, like, every year. So watching,
I bet.
so kind of coaching them through that, which is like, so I've never had to do this, but
Yeah.
like, but you do.
Here's what I think would work.
Yeah, right. So that's important. Play dates. Actually, I should have brought that up as like a single dad. So that's different.
Yeah.
We haven't done that.
Sure.
Because like, I mean, if I'm the parents too, like, oh yeah, we're gonna go so-and-so's dad. Like, oh no, you're not.
Right.
Like,
yeah. I get what you're saying.
I get it. Having
Interesting. I hadn't
women
even thought
are
about
more your friends. I was this way. Like your wife kind of dictates. You have your own friends, but like not in your spare time as much. So that's a little tougher, but I get it at the same time. Like we don't even. So
interesting. I literally hadn't thought about that.
I haven't
before,
even
but
thought
that's
of how to solve that one.
Sure.
I mean, it's just like, I don't know. It's just kind of, it's one of those. It is what it is. Things.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's interesting too, because I've talked with my wife about this a ton. That most of my friends are dudes.
Yeah.
But I do have a couple of girl friends. But even just like as a kid, I really like literally only had maybe one or two friends that were girls. Yeah. And so put in your position, that's super fascinating because I hadn't even thought about that. Like if, hey, can we do a sleepover at so-and-so's house?
Oh,
well,
right.
no, we're not going to that. No, we're not going. Well, but
yeah.
I think there's probably an opportunity for you there to like make, I don't know if make friends is the right word, but like once your kid starts to pick out some kids that are their friends, you know, that's like, okay, well, we're going to go make friends with their parents so that we can kind of expand that little circle a little bit and make sure everybody's happy and comfortable hanging out. Well, that's interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
Even from the parent standpoint too, right? I mean, if you have two parents, opposite sex, you know, going on a play date, it's like, that's just awkward, right? Sure. I mean, you know, if another mom...
She's got a friend or two where, I'm just kind of like...
I mean...
I don't care like I'm sliding into DMs right now, but
like, I don't care how chill
across
that person you are. Like that's just awkward. I mean, that's just the nature of it, right? I was like, I never thought of that, but that's got to definitely be a challenge.
Because I was sitting here thinking, like, okay, so if I suddenly became a single dad for whatever reason, like, what would that introduction look like for me? And it's like, again, I was talking about like Jess Olsen is one of my best friends, and so like I've got one like woman in my circle that I'm not, you know, worried about like her feeling creeped out, or at least too bad, by me. And but then like really that's the only person I can think of just like immediately off the top of my head. Like that. So that's an interesting hurdle that I hadn't thought about.
And when you're not from town.
Also that. That I completely understand.
Sure. People you didn't grow up
for us.
with.
I mean, so people I grew up with, they're kind of scattered to the winds over the country. I grew up near Fort.
That
we're
makes
still
sense.
there.
Sure.
But you're trailblazing a little bit, and you're just kind of figuring it out along the way. So, you know, I just do the best you can.
Sure.
Yeah.
So completely off topic here. Tell me about starting grade school for her. Like, how did that go?
Yeah.
How'd she do? Like,
good.
How did you feel about it? Like, what was your reaction?
So, it was good for us to get her in the community that they live in, and that they're Chaney, the hormone expert.
Sure.
That's actually why I'm here. Probably part of why I'm here now. Since we're working on another one. Getting back out there. Second time's harder than the first time. So it was good to go there, but at the same time, we'd been going to Kid Life.
Right. That's where my kids
since
go.
she was 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which mini story on that. You ever run into like somebody's kids and they don't know who you are, but you know who they are, but like you exchange your look. So your kids. So like at the checkout. And we were at the point where it was like, I know who they are, and I was like, I don't know what to say. I'm like, I know who your dad is. Like, I just kind of walked off.
It was funny. And they're
like, I know your dad. I'm not.
Did they ever bring that up?
They're just like looking Aaron up and down. They're like, okay.
I know who your dad is.
I know we've never met, but like, I know your dad is.
Okay, we can be friends.
Yeah,
we can be friends.
Really funny.
Yeah, that's you never really know how to handle that moment. It's like, because I don't want to like, they know you. That you know, so you don't like want to ignore.
Sure.
Like Disney World, you don't want to like,
But I get it. You don't want to give them weird vibes.
Exactly, you didn't know me.
Yeah.
Like, so
that's funny.
I forget the tangent we were going on. So starting school was good. That was a good start. She did well. I think she really liked kindergarten, settling into first grade.
Sure.
But she's brought it up once or twice. Like, I just miss my kindergarten friends. I'm like, well, you not see him at recess or anything? And she says they're in the other hallway. So it's figuring out a lot of Russians and Ukrainians and
interesting
out in Rogersville too.
Okay.
So we're getting a little
diversity,
little view into foreign conflicts right now going on out there. Rogersville's a place where they can coexist peacefully.
Exactly.
So
shout out to Rogersville.
Go
Raj.
So yeah, I mean, 3 or 4 kids in her class were like, they don't know English. She's like,
oh wow.
Yeah, like, oh, and it's like she doesn't speak anything. It's like,
interesting.
Oh, okay. So,
fascinating that they've got her in a full English class. That kid in a full English class.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're young enough. They'll just kind of, they'll be fine.
Well, I would think if you were an ESL kid,
everybody's kind of learning the words for the first time. So.
Well, I guess that's actually a really good point. If you can't read, period, it's kind of the same.
We're all starting
process,
from
right?
the same point.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, that actually makes a lot of sense. Well, and if you're an ESL kid anyway, like, you're still learning stuff. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
English is a second language.
Oh.
I saw you looking at me funny.
We use these big acronyms.
Yeah, sorry.
So smart.
Were you one of those kids?
Yeah, exactly.
What about hobbies? I mean, every dad wants to introduce their kids to hobbies.
Yeah.
Well, he played Rotary basketball for you. I was the coach.
That's right. I almost accidentally tried to pull Derek out of retirement.
Oh, he did.
That was a hard no. Which I just totally forgot. Like, oh yeah, you just play college basketball. See what he's up to. Oh yeah, you had a life-altering injury.
Exploded his Achilles.
Oh, yeah, right. Good one.
And thought I did it to him.
Keep it good.
Do you know that? Do you know that part of the story? He thought I did it.
I did. 100%.
he thought I hurt him. No, I was on the floor with him at that point, and he thought I kicked him to the ground.
Was that Sunrise practice?
It was.
Yeah, it wasn't even an actual game.
Yeah. So
one of my glamorous moments.
No, I'll leave you out in the pasture. It's fine.
Thank you. My wife appreciates that.
Yeah.
I'm going to get into pickleball soon, just see how that goes. I'm joking. I know more people who have Achilles issues from pickleball than they do basketball.
Right. Good couple sport though.
Ooh, so, good thought.
Not speaking from experience.
That's what I've heard. So I hear. I don't know that for sure.
When I'm at Fremont walking by. So yeah, I'm in hobbies. So she will be next year old enough to do turkey and deer hunting.
I didn't think about that.
Most hunters will tell you is the prime time to be out there. So I'm gonna have to figure out like the gun and the being quiet situation. But I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Give her some assistance if she needs it.
Has she shown some interest there? We talking it up and knowing that Dad does it and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. We talked about turkey hunting one time.
Sure.
Which my thing was just like, think Navy SEAL thoughts.
Navy
SEAL. Be really quiet.
Yeah.
Deer, you can get away with more. But, so that's going to be fun.
Navy SEAL thoughts is funny.
Navy SEAL thoughts. That's my advice for everybody. Just like, the head coming out of the water. Like, that's what it takes.
Oh, that's funny.
In the brush. Yeah. So, their eyes are better than yours are. And then there's a farm where we do set hunting, which you grew up on, I guess. So,
same.
That'll be good. That'll be instrumental because, we're probably going to do a week at Grandma and Grandpa's, when she gets older.
Sure.
So I'm like, why do you think I moved here? This will be good for you.
Yeah.
But
I have that same plan with my kids.
Too. 100%.
Really put it into perspective a little bit.
Wake her up at 5 a.m. Go.
They're coming down here to work.
Gotta go
play.
Gotta go do it.
Yeah.
Is your dad actually going to make those kids work?
Oh, yeah, he better.
Do you think he will? That's what I'm saying. Do you think he will?
There will be strict instructions.
Yeah, my dad, I can see my dad doing it. My mom, no, you're fine. Just go play.
Yeah, here's
let me bake you some cookies. Whatever. Yeah.
That's what Nan will do. But
what kind of farm?
Beef
nice.
And certain custom hay. That's what they do. So that's what Dad and older brother do. They're still doing that. So that's good for me too, though. The older I get, because I can just bug out.
Sure.
Get some fresh air. It's like an hour and 15 minutes away. So sharing that with her, going out there too. Just having a place to get away, and I'm enjoying the silence.
Sure.
I get it.
Yeah.
Just going out there and just reset. Other things, what I write down, Disney World is going to be a first experience for both of us.
When are you doing that?
Homes first.
I resemble that, man.
Hopefully next year.
A couple of years. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's in the cards, right? Like you're planning for that.
That's a plan.
Nice.
That's one thing that terrifies me also.
I'm probably going to be a little selfish, like wanting to go do my stuff, because I haven't been there yet.
Well,
so,
same. I never have either.
Yeah.
But
like, no, we're not doing that. We're going to
We're going to go see the Star Wars
Epcot. Because I'm kind of that way with movies, too, where we reach a joint decision on what to watch on Disney+, because it's stupid. Like, we're going to watch.
Yeah.
I like the old school stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Throwbacks. I guess that's something I share with her, too, is like older shows.
Mm-hmm.
So like, we'll throw on some Nick Jr.
Sweet. There you go. Yeah. I love it.
Or Disney, and she finally, I'm like, what is it, Darkwing Duck? Like, she finds some stuff herself, and she,
Cool.
it's like, the writer was better in the 90s.
Yeah, for sure.
Better. So
that's fun though. I like that and that's something that's really good about Disney is that they've got all kinds of just all the backlog of stuff. Man, there's a bunch of stuff on Disney Plus.
You got to come and watch it though.
Yeah, well,
some things are like, no, we're not watching that one.
That's
especially the newer ones. Yeah,
it's kind of that's what I mean. It's
sure.
It's like, okay, that was not accidental. So,
are there any funny stories or anything that stand out to you from parenting that you want to tell? Because everybody seems to have those stories. I want to give you an opportunity.
Quick.
Okay.
I mean, she's just a funny person on a daily basis, but there's not like a one-time thing that stands out. But like I kind of thought on it, just like the childhood innocence. Like anything is literally possible.
Sure.
Like when she was 2 or 3, she's like learning animal sounds and all that, and there was a bird at the farm that like made a sound that sounded like a monkey, like in her defense, but she's just like, monkey, like looking around, like looking for it. And it's just like, no, there's not monkeys in Missouri. Like,
yeah.
But that was fun. I mean,
that's fun though.
Never would have thought of that.
Kid innocence is the best.
Never would have thought of that. Or boundaries. So like no, those are taught.
Sure.
Those are not innate.
Preach.
Just getting a fart directly in your ear hole. I don't know if you guys have ever had that as a dad.
Unfortunately, yes. Yeah.
Directly in the ear hole. I mean, she's crawling over me and just let it go.
Let it go.
It's a whole nother definition of let it go.
Let
it go.
She let it go. So, yeah, I don't know. Just the daily. It's fun having a kid because it kind of takes you like out of your own mind, your own perspectives. You're like, okay, I like how you look at that better.
Oh, right.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
There's something
That's
way
better.
more fun about looking at it in a
Well, it's
childish
the
way.
excitement that they have too whenever they're looking at stuff.
Like a hippo being a toothpig. Like, that's awesome. I mean, just like, that's a better word. We have a new word for that.
Toothpig.
A toothpig.
Oh, toothpick.
Hippo was a
Okay,
toothpig.
I see toothpick. I was
Awesome.
toothpick.
I
We'll go back
love
to the
that. I'm
toothpick.
definitely saying
Yeah.
that next time we go to the zoo. That's hysterical.
Yeah. So, what about you guys? Awesome. Any funny lately?
Dude, I mean, you nailed on two things that, I mean, it's constant, the innocence. So, Liam was sick a couple weeks ago, and like, just what we say when somebody's sick, like around our house, we're like, oh, you got the stomach bug, right?
Yeah.
Like, you just say that, and most people know what it means, right? And Liam just like looks at us, and he's like, what's a stomach bug? And it's like, well, it's like when you don't feel good, buddy, you know, your tummy's kind of rolling and stuff.
Inside me?
And he's like, oh, I thought I had a bug in my tummy. It's like little stuff like that. Like, you don't think about it because you just say it nonchalantly.
I can see why you think that.
Yeah. It's like, it totally makes sense, like, how they view it. Then the whole boundary thing, I mean, between my kids and me, and then especially the boys with each other, like, for the longest time, whenever I go pee, my boys were right there, like so close to me that it was uncomfortable.
Because they were getting splashed.
Yeah.
And luckily,
I've never had the joy of
they were,
Star Wars sword fights.
Yeah.
No, they weren't peeing. They just had to come watch me pee.
Okay.
Because they were fascinated by
Somebody's
it.
got supervise.
Right. And I was just like, guys, like, can you give me like at least an inch here?
Like back up just a little
But yeah, then like with themselves tonight, so we have like some of these big cushions, and we put them that fold out, and we put them down the stairs, and it's like a slide.
Yeah.
So you can slide down the stairs.
Saw that video. Oh, so good.
Yeah. They were doing that tonight, and Brody is still working on potty training with that kid, so he's naked tonight. Liam's like,
Did not see that video. Never mind.
No. Yeah. That video was from different night. But anyways, Liam's laying there on his back, getting ready to like slide down it. Well, Brody wants to go, so Brody just butt naked sets right on his face.
Here we go.
Just like butt right to the face, and I'm just
I got a funny story, but it's not mine. It's my mom's.
Yeah.
Kind of like that because she had 2 boys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Doing the same kind of thing.
Finish your story.
Wild.
Yeah.
My brother put his underwear on my head.
Oh
So then
God.
she chases him upstairs, and he's like moving around, and then like moves all the way over, spread eagle, and she had a belt, and he got it. So she had to like send a note to school to the teacher, like, he may have trouble going to the bathroom.
And here's why.
Here's why. It's right on his. Yeah. So that was the '90s too. It'd probably be different now.
I agree. Yeah, that certainly is
It's
true.
a different time. The only thing, which I know we're going serious to fun here, but is just
What are we gonna talk about?
I mentioned perspective at
Yeah.
the beginning.
Yeah.
So with pre-Grace birth,
Mhm.
thankfully pre-Grace birth, to her and I will probably always have a closeness just for
Sure.
like what we've experienced together. My perspective's a little different because I really like being dad. Like, I like being married. Like, I'm a white shoe jort wearing.
Yeah. Get it.
Haven't made it through a movie in years past 9 because I
Mhm.
fall asleep. Like,
Sure.
I'm an old man at heart, but I also like am a single dude now, so I got to manage that.
Sure. Here, scooch in just a little bit. I want to bring you into the table just a little bit. There we go.
So my perspective is a little bit different because like this might be it.
Yeah.
Like as far as the kiddo. Like,
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah, of course.
That's
That
kind
makes
of what
sense.
made me think of that. So like every day actually is. So I was asking you guys about that app. Like,
Mhm.
you feel worse
You only get so much time.
if you doom scroll because you're like, well, my time's half.
Yeah.
So like that's twice as valuable.
Sure.
Really. So
Ooh, yeah, that's a great point.
when and that was the saddest thing about
Twice as valuable.
going
Yeah.
through a divorce was, and I realized that up front, but I lost because you're cutting everything in half, right?
Sure.
But the hardest part was losing half of her childhood.
Mm-hmm.
That was tough.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is, but my perspective is like, because I want to have more, but we talked, I resorted to getting dating advice from you.
Oh no. Yeah,
In
well, we
Springfield,
have talked about
Missouri,
that,
That
yeah.
was your biggest mistake.
We haven't talked about that yet, but so just kind of, well, what's that like? Where are people hanging out? Like,
Sure.
Yeah,
we did talk about that.
Asking for a
met
friend.
my
Okay.
ex-wife in high school. Like, I'm like learning this shit on the fly.
Sure.
in
Yeah.
my 20s. So like, it is.
Dating as an adult is weird.
Oh,
It's weird. Well, and like when I was in my late 20s, it was the not early days of Tinder, but it was still a relatively innocent place.
Right.
And so like that was not the like cesspool that I assume it is now. And all the other ones too. I
The
don't mean to
fall
say.
of Western civilization.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the dating app.
Well, and I think we talked about this. I just liked the idea of thinking about what the kind of person you want to be dating would be doing at any point in time, and then just
Right.
going to do that thing.
Right.
Whether it's if you're looking for somebody who has a relationship with God, well, then go to church. If you're
Right.
looking for somebody who likes the rock climbing, well, then go where they climb rocks, or that kind of
Right.
thing.
Dude, you mentioned pickleball. It's great for couples.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a singles league.
Get a girl.
Yeah.
Have to be an athlete for that first.
That's right. That's right.
Um,
Well, or I don't know. I don't know where they hang out, but
But yeah, that was my only thought.
So anyway, so it might be the only one.
Sure.
Yeah.
So my perspective's a little different because like it just means a little more
Mm-hmm.
because it's half.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so the time we spend together, and you have to find that balance too. Like things that I enjoy sharing with her is like daddy-daughter dates.
Mm-hmm.
That's big, which the hokey kind of sappy part of that is your modeling.
Yeah,
What
for
they're
sure.
going to be used to and
100%.
what their
Right.
expectation's going to be
Mhm.
later on. But besides that, just time that we're spending together which I picked that up as a dad hack, because Wonders of Wildlife season pass is worth every dime.
Preach.
That works when it's 100 degrees outside and you don't want to go outside, or it works when it's the cold of winter.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. So that's a dad hack, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
That worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
Springfield has a lot of good parks. Just things we do. We got a coffee shop, El Cafecito.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
To go, we go there, like she has to go there, and it's just you're just spending time with each other because
The quality time is that much more important.
Much.
Yeah.
It's not much, but you don't want to overdo it too because like I kind of try to feel her energy. Like, what do you want? I just want to stay home. Okay.
Perfect.
All right, that's fine. We can do that.
What do you want to do at home?
Yeah. Right.
I get it.
Literally ask my kids what they want to do.
We're at Sin Watch Little Bear. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Perfect. Little Bear it is.
Yeah.
I'll make the popcorn.
Yeah.
I do think we need to get to everybody's favorite part of the podcast. Derek.
We have to. What's everybody's favorite part?
It's Dad Joke of the Week!
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
I want to go first.
Oh.
I don't normally want to go first. Within reach. I only know, we're talking about education and learning things, I actually only know 25 of the letters of the alphabet. I don't know why.
Must be that. Hey, Glendale education, I guess.
Hey!
Hey, all right, well, mine's a little festive, kind of, because we are in fall here. And I don't know.
Scratch that one out.
You didn't get the chuckle? I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I'm not really a big fan of corn mazes.
Okay.
Because every time I'm in there, I feel like I'm being
Is it
stalked.
because you're husky? Oh, sorry, say it again.
Because every time I'm in one, I feel like I'm being stalked.
Nice.
Husky? What?
Yeah, because you're husky.
Timely.
You know, corn husk.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Except
Right over my head.
I'm the husky one in this relationship,
Okay.
so that doesn't
It's
work.
the irony. The irony is the
Alright.
joke.
All right.
The irony.
That's pretty good. Stop.
Aaron.
I get it. Yeah.
I have
Finish
Take it,
with the
Aaron.
better one.
2. What's Forrest Gump's password?
1 Forest 1.
Oh, I thought it had
Got
to do
it.
something with Jenny.
You got it.
It's-
I know, that's like Jenny.
Did I get it right?
You did. You did.
1 4.
That was a shot in the dark.
I left the answers out here. Good job.
All right, sorry.
Okay.
Oh, you tell this one. I won't look this time.
April showers bring May flowers,
Yes.
Uh-huh.
but what do May flowers bring?
I got nothing.
You had a hint. It's in season-ish.
Pilgrims?
Ah! You got it.
That's solid. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty good.
Pilgrims. Those are good. Awesome.
I like that one.
It's pretty solid, actually.
I like
a
that
lot.
one.
I like that
Pretty
one.
good.
Yeah, I might use that some more.
Wrap this thing up, DC.
All right. Well, we have to finish on our Decent Dad's motto, keeping the bar within reach. No, in all seriousness here, we are here to build a community of dads, share stories, share experiences, dad hacks, and, as you can tell, amazing dad jokes as well, too. So if you have any of those, share them with us. We'd love to hear them, love to share them as well, too, and give you credit like we did today on my dad hack. But be sure and check us out. We release episodes every 2 weeks. They can be found on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and be sure and go out to all the social medias, like, share, and subscribe.
All the social media stuff, that's right. I think next order of business is we say the ceremonial. Where'd you go, Decent Dad?
Thank you.
Great job, Aaron.
It's an honor to be here.
And does anybody else have anything else
I got
before we wrap
nothing.
this thing up?
No, it's been a good time.
All right, thanks for being here.
Thanks for
buddy.
breaking me in.
This was fun, man. I appreciate you. I think then in that case we say we'll see you next time. Well, I got bad news for you, pal. I got that on camera. It's my favorite part about this shit. Is the bloopers in the middle.
Yeah.
Got
The
him.
bloopers in the middle.